All right, this is going to be a fast, fun little clip. So this is from JP Sears.
JP Morgan.
Yeah, JP Morgan Spears. He's an IP guy, lead FI, that has really discovered that he's an IP. Now, he doesn't know typology. He's not calling it an IP.
Right, of course,
but he's discovering as he's getting older that he's kind of a self-significant type of person.
Right.
So he's sitting down with your buddy Lewis Howes.
He's my buddy.
Lewis Howes is a double decider.
Right.
Lewis Howes is SETI.
So he can bounce back and forth between thinking and feeling and himself and the tribe.
Right.
It's just, there's not drama there. There's not high spikes of energy.
So watch this. Here comes JP, and he's talking about decider stuff, and notice a little bit of a weird vibe, especially compared to Lewis Howes.
And what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is losing myself. It really is. There's, I mean, and I know you have a degree of fame and notoriety as well, and my ego scares the crap out of me. I mean, just like going to a coffee shop and having a bunch of people come up, want to take pictures of me, with me. It's, I mean, there's like so much gratitude. I feel like, wow, I so appreciate.
Significance too, right?
Yeah. So the heart says gratitude. Heart says gratitude, and then the ego says significance. So you've seen the movie The Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
So that says so much to me about what happens inside of me. Like, Frodo was the only one who could carry the ring.
He didn't have the ego.
Yeah. And it was still challenging for him.
Yeah.
But everybody else would be consumed. They would lose themselves feeding off this thing that can't possibly satiate you. So it scares me, the idea that I would lose myself in pursuit of significance and recognition. That's not where my heart's at, but it's a temptation of my ego. And I find, do I want to enjoy kind of the accolades? Yes. Do I want to nurture myself off of them? That's like eating junk food. It's like living off junk food, yet junk food can taste very sweet. It can taste very good. So
just don't go to coffee shops then?
Stay.
Like, this is a real conversation for JP. Like, this is very serious. It's significance, the ego, and it's junk food. That's how we see the savior demon.
If you're healthy, that's it. You should be seeing your saviors as junk food.
As an addiction.
I'm trying to acquire agoraphobia just to keep myself safe. But, to be honest with you, I love being afraid of losing myself because to me it's like a healthy ego check. It would actually frighten me more if I wasn't afraid. And at the risk of sounding like I'm deflecting from the beautiful question, I'm curious, with the fame and recognition you've acquired, how do you deal with it, and how, if at all, do you feel challenged by it?
Okay, ready? Watch the difference in the state. This is a big, serious deal. And watch casual double decider cool guy go,
That's a good question. Because I would, if I'm looking at myself, I would think that I actually had a bigger ego like earlier in my 20s and in my mid-20s than what I do now. Now, maybe my team or some people around me would say I still have a big ego.
Okay, so he's first talking about DI. Like, yeah, okay, I can see the ego thing. I can see that's a problem. Then switches over to the other perspective.
Decider, right.
Like, if you're a double decider, you're going to be able to use and manage your own internal decider, and then you can quickly be able to switch to the tribe probably sees me like an ass.
Right.
I'm okay with that. Okay, go back.
That fast.
That quick. That's what it's like.
Think that I ground myself. I'm very grateful. I'm humble, as much as I can be, but I'm sure
I'm more humble than you.
You are. You're competitively more humble than me.
Sorry, David.
But I think that, I'm also a very confident guy, and I think that people can take it the wrong way sometimes. So I know inside that every morning, I'm the best meditator in the world, better than you, and I'm able to, be more grateful than everyone else in my practice. No, but seriously, I feel like.
So not afraid to joke around.
He's kicking JP's ass a little bit because he's sensing the tension. What a double decider does with a situation like that would be to shove, hey, let's joke now. Because if you're going to play the game of I'm better than you, let's punch back and forth like deciders would do.
I'm constantly aware of okay, was I a jerk? Was I an a-hole? Or was I leading with my ego? Or was that just me being a confident human being and being in certainty? And so I think there's a fine line. And I could obsess over it, was I too egotistical or too confident? Did I hurt someone in this way? I'm also just going to lean into being myself and lifting others up as much as possible.
I love it.
So as a double decider, it's like there's a fine line of like being confident enough and then also making other people happy, but not going too far either way.
Right.
It's like feels like you're driving a car. This is how you'll feel with double observers.
Yo, totally.
It's like I'm never in the middle of the highway. Like as soon as I get too close to that line, I just come back over to that line. You're just kind of doing one of these.
Right.
And never going too far out of balance
Right.
as a double decider, compared to not, maybe you're having a bad day.
Right.
Compared to the other ones that are like, whoa.
Yeah, right. I would think so. Like whatever you're double to in the middle,
Right.
you're gonna have a stronger, let's say, stronger muscle of being able to kind of bounce back and forth. Like you would have the ability,
And
to
therefore, there's
throttle
not
like
a
that.
lot of fear. In contrast,
To
compared
be able to switch.
Right, because you're
Right.
like, oh, I overshot it. Oh, well, I can
Right.
just go back the other way.
Right.
But with your first and your fourth, when you mess that up, you're like, I don't know how I got here.
Yes.
And I don't know how to bring it back the
Right.
other way.
It's a too intense of a swing.
Right, and then the contrast of the math is true the other way around.
Yeah.
So the double observers, the IPs and the EJs,
Yeah.
you'll see them making fun of tinfoil hat type people.
all
You'll
the
see them
time.
making fun of, conspiracies or Illuminatis or whatever,
yeah.
because to them they're like, this isn't serious.
Right.
But you get some IJ or EP who's all obsessed into some conspiracy or whatever, and you go make fun of them, like, what are you doing, dude? This is serious stuff.
Right. That is such a good comparison there because you're seeing what it looks like when you have the relativity. Like you're having
That's
a
the
single
joke. decider
next to a double decider and they happen to be very much on the swing on the poles.
Right.
If you can watch your own self and your freakouts of your own self to which ones are a huge deal and which ones are like so real you can't even see them, you're now able to get the relativity of your own self.
Right.
Because you got to be able to see in context.
Right. It's good to have friends that are in different kind of needs groups.
Right.
If you're an observer, hang out with those deciders
I
because they
know.
will make fun of you.
It's so true.
And you kind of need that so you're not taking things so damn seriously.
That's so true.
When an asteroid comes and does really knock everyone out, the guy where is he? This guy who's like underground with 10,000 rounds of ammo is going to be fine. Now he's going to have a hard time mating because he can't win the tribe game. Well, this guy could.
There you go.
This guy's winning in both worlds right here. He's got control chaos and tribe dynamics.